What is your American dream?
My American dream is for everyone to walk around freely and comfortable and not being afraid to show who they are.
My American dream is to help my people from my community.
My American dream is for people to be aware of different cultures and traditions and to be respectful of each other, of all those differences, because America is actually built by immigrants. We are all immigrants in this country.
My American dream is to continue doing what I'm doing and educating people about who we are as Mexicans, what we have to contribute to this country, and we are part of this country. Let's not forget that.
My American dream is for everybody to know that I'm not a bad man, that I'm really capable to do a lot of stuff in the best way possible, always with love, with respect, and with that passion that is a characteristic of us Mexicans.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Knock him out. Oh, yeah. Oh, jump to the left, to the right. Wow. Yeah, is that a jab? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a jab. Pushing. Wow, I've never seen two groundhogs fight before. Ooh. Oh, hi, Brad Squad. Oh, my goodness. I was just watching the most amazing thing. It was a groundhog fight. It could be tough out there on the mean streets in Groundhog Land. Sometimes groundhogs can be ornery, and I guess they could get into some scuffles with each other. And if it happens with me, I have no skills. I would have no way of defending myself because Groundhog Sam here is a lover, not a fighter. However, it's always good to be prepared and have some self-defense skills. So I'm going to go ask Julian, the TriCaster guy. I don't know if you guys know this, but he does MMA. I'll bet you he'll have some tips for me. Come on, let's go. Hi, Julian. Julian?
Hey, what's up?
So listen, I just saw a big kerfuffle between two groundhogs. They were going at it. They were just boo, 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 boo at each other. And you know what? If that was me, I wouldn't have any moves. I wouldn't know what to do. I would just lie down on the ground and play possum, even though I'm a groundhog. So anyway, I was wondering, because I know you're a big MMA guy, if maybe you could give me some moves so that, God forbid, it ever happens to me, I have a little bit of self-defense knowledge.
Yeah, I can teach you a jab and a couple kicks.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, Sam, so I have Sean here to,
Party rock, yay.
as our training partner to show you how to defend yourself, just in case anybody touches your pretzels or insults Pimpa.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start off with your basic jab. So it's very easy. You snap,
Wow.
but
Oh
always
my
remember,
goodness.
keep your paw up.
Paw up to protect the
Yeah.
snout.
Yeah, and your teeth.
And my teeth,
Both of
especially I
them.
only have two.
Yeah, so
Wow, you pack a punch. Woo. Whoa. Okay, so just to get this straight, you do left jab, you do right jab, and you always keep your hands up or your paws in order to protect your snout and your teeth.
right.
Got it. Now what about kicks?
So the kicks are usually more powerful. So if you wanna end the fight, this is the move you go to.
Okay.
And it's like this.
Wow, that's amazing.
So remember, when you kick, you want to turn your foot or your paw. So when you kick, at the end of the kick,
Oh,
your foot should be facing Sean
got it.
or the guy that's trying to,
Gonna steal my pretzels.
Yeah. And always remember, keep your hands up when you kick. Keep your hands up at all times, okay?
Wow, that's powerful, Julian.
All right, Sam, so now it's your turn.
Okay, Julian, it's the moment of truth. Do you think I can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're a great coach, so hopefully. Okay, here we go. Right punch.
Good.
Take that.
Remember to keep your paws up.
Paws up. Okay.
Good, yeah.
I did it. Okay, now I got a kick. I don't know about these hind legs of mine. Paws up. Foot turn. Hi-ya.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling tough. Oh, I'm breaking a sweat. This is getting out all my aggression, Julian. I'm going to go to the gym with you. Do you think everyone would mind?
No.
Oh, yay. I hope I'm not hurting you, Sean.
No, you're good, Sam.
Okay, just checking. Hi-ya. Gotcha. Oh, this fits my head, but it's way too big for my paws. I'm going to have to get some smaller boxing gloves. I'm so excited. Now I know some MMA moves thanks to Julian, the TriCaster guy, and Sean Party Rock Boone Jr. I am going to be great if I ever need to protect myself. Anyway, did you miss last episode of Brad Show Live? Well, in case you did, Brad and Abadir Barre, one of the immigration attorneys here, discussed how people could get their asylum claims fast-tracked by contacting the firm if they've been waiting for 3 or more years for their asylum case, which is just terrible. That's way too long. Now is the time that you've all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad, Bernstein, and co-host Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Enjoy! I'm gonna get this glove back to Julia now. Oh, it's very comfy. Oh, I could take a nap.
Welcome back, Brad! That's right, welcome back, Brad. Welcome back, Brad Squad. I was away for a few days, but we are back. Today is Thursday, April 11th. Welcome back, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. How are you? What's going on?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. You look very happy. You came in very happy today.
Yeah, I'm just happy.
You're happy
I
guy.
still have my tan.
Yeah,
I still have
from
my
Puerto
tan
Rico?
from Puerto Rico. How was the Love City?
We'll talk about Love City in a
yeah?
minute, but
Okay.
I wanna say hello to the people that I love out there.
Oh, yeah.
They're called the Brad Squad. Mia Montauk, how are you? Angela Barrett, Jessica Leamy, Squad Up My Loves. I missed you guys so much. Cece Mitchell, how are you? Kennedy Roy, Anna K. Moxham says welcome back. Angela Barrett says hello. Lisa Bling Rose says Squad 3. Welcome back, Uncle Brad, the immigration angel.
Wow, the
Lisa
immigration
Bling
angel.
with new names on a daily
I
basis
like
for
that.
me.
That's a different one.
That is. Nezzy wants more. She's getting more today. Abigail Taylor Watson, how are you? Carol Anderson the Tiger says, how you all doing? Did you miss me, you all? I miss you, the squad. We missed everybody. At least I did. Actually, to tell you the truth, I really do. It's like at 5:30, wherever I am, I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Same here.
Like it's like a little weird feeling.
Same here.
Yeah, because you get all psyched to do this, and then you don't have that get pumped up to do the show because you're just not doing it. It's just not the same. And of course, I miss everybody. Aretha Sassare Simmons says, you're finally back. Happy face. Lavandi Tucker, straight from Broadway, says, hey guys, squat up.
Hey.
I have no idea what Lavandi Tucker does, but I just think she's a Broadway star. Cordella Douglas, squat up, Rad. Kim's on vacation. Yo-Yo, Jill, Sam, Carol, Lisa, Tamika, Patrona, Jessica Lima, Dion. She's calling out everybody. And Cordella Douglas, Muhammad Youssef says, hi, Brad. He's got an update to his work permit and says the new card is being produced, but the travel document says the case was received. That means I'm going to get a travel document. I'm waiting on the work permit since the last 2 weeks. We'll get to that question a little bit later, right? I didn't realize he was asking a question.
Yes.
Squat up. I just started reading it. Who else we got here? Squat up. Lolita Platt says, welcome back, everyone. We miss you all. Dion Reed saying hello. And Kim Smith. Marilyn Thompson says, love me some Brad.
Ooh.
And First Lady Hewitt, right far behind, says, yo-yo looking nice today.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Ramona Hazel saying hello. Dawn Harriet, good to see my family again. And Demba Sow saying hello. I think Demba's in Africa, isn't she?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And on YouTube, we can't forget YouTube. Michael Asari saying hello. Fadi El Abid says, hi, everyone. I'm glad to be back. Rococo Chocolat.
Rococo Chocolat.
I was doing a lot of Rococo Chocolat. Not doing, but like speaking French.
Oh, okay.
In
you
Paris.
speak French?
No, but I was trying.
Oh.
Carol the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson. DJ Killer Buzz says, I missed this effing show. Comment of the
That's
month.
not a comment of the month.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
Smiley face with the
glasses.
With the glasses
The cool
on.
glasses.
I like that one.
I like
Natoya
that.
Leggett says, hi guys, it's been a while. Esmeen Bowden says, squad up. Who else? Sexy Shan Myers says, hey Brad Squad, family, miss you all. Welcome everybody. Ken Kibbert says, no way. Is this real? Hell yeah! Nice to see the show back before the weekends. What's up, Brad Squad? Terry Ann Garvey says hello, everybody. Pettygate Barrett says, hey, Brad, welcome back. I miss you. Thank you. Eulette Wilson says, you go, Sam. And Tim de Cunningham says, nice having you back. Is VAWA being authorized? And we'll talk VAWA very quickly.
Awesome.
They are accepting VAWA applications, so you can file your VAWA. It is still funded through the end of the year, but certainly file your VAWA applications now. It did pass the House of Representatives. We're expecting the Senate to pass it shortly, and then eventually it'll be there for a very long time. But they are accepting your VAWA application, so get it in. It is authorized to the end of the year. It's funded to the end of the year, and hopefully that we're going to have an extension very soon. So, Yo-Yo, I was in Paris.
Yes.
Which is very nice. It's the city of love.
Yes, and I've never been.
You've never been. It's a beautiful city. Really beautiful city. And I went to the, there I went. I went to, do you know what this is? This is the Monet Gardens in Giverny, Paris.
Okay.
Now, you heard of Monet?
Yes.
Okay, so Monet was a famous impressionist, and this was his house, and these were his famous, which we were looking at about a second ago, which we'll go back. These are the famous lilies that he painted, and I went to see, because these lilies are worth millions of dollars, but this is the lake in which he painted his famous lilies that are worth millions and millions of dollars.
Wow.
Now, I'll tell you a little bit about art in 10 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, do you know what the Impressionist period is, the Monet, and do you know what they were all about?
What was it?
They were basically the photographers of their time from the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
So before Monet and the other Impressionists, this is one of his paintings, that was an actual painting of the pond that I just went to.
Wow.
Okay, and this painting is probably worth, $100 million, $200 million. They were the photographers of their time. Prior to the Impressionists and Monet and his ilk, people would sit down in front of an artist, and they, would have an easel, and he goes, "Monsieur, yes, I paint your picture. I paint your picture." Now, Monet went to this, and he tried to paint as fast as he can. Every painting took less than 15 minutes.
Wow!
And he was basically trying to take a picture of what he saw at that moment. So this was right before cameras were invented.
Wow.
So they were actually painting as fast as they can. And that's why they're called the Impressionists, because there's what their impression was at that moment, rather than sitting down in front of somebody in an easel for hours posing.
And days even.
Right. So then I went there, and then afterwards I went. I was with Ida, and I went with Ida to this beautiful chateau for a lunch. It was very pretty, but we were late for the reservation.
Oof.
Yeah. So I tried to get the maitre d' to sit us down, because we were at this beautiful thing. This was my special day. Going out to the gardens. We go to this pretty chateau.
Right.
And he says, "Sorry, monsieur, your lunch reservation was at 1:15. It is now 2:15." Because I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm on Brad Squad time. I mean, we say our show starts at 5:30.
That don't happen everywhere.
We say our show starts at 5:30 at 6 o'clock. So I said, well, we drove all the way out from Paris. It was 2 hours. Can you make an exception? Keep the kitchen open a little bit longer. And he goes, "Monsieur, maybe my English is not perfect, but I'm sure you understand the kitchen is closed." So that was, so we drove out. I saw a lake.
Oh, man.
So, and then of course, we were back in Paris. We saw the Eiffel Tower.
Nice.
I think I have a picture of the Eiffel Tower there. This was
beautiful.
actually taken from a taxi cab.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was in a taxi. I asked the taxi driver to slow down, because the Eiffel Tower only lights up only for 2 minutes every hour, and I keep missing it. So I wanted to take a picture.
Right.
And then he slowed down. He almost caused a whole huge accident.
Sheesh.
But I got the picture.
That's beautiful.
And then he dropped me off about 100 feet after this. I said, what is this? Why'd you slow down if this is where we're going? Because I don't know the addresses or anything. You told me to slow down. I slowed down. So that was my trip, but it was very nice. We were there for 3-4 days. It's a very beautiful city, and you should definitely go.
Nice.
And what did you do during this trip?
During what trip?
Whatever my trip.
Oh, I was here.
You were working every day.
I was working.
Right. I saw you were out on the street. I was getting the clips.
Yes.
I was getting the clips. So on the way back from Paris, I had a 5:15 flight yesterday, and I read the sign, thinking that boarding was 5:15, but boarding was not 5:15. the plane was taking off at 5:15.
Ooh.
So I'm taking a casual walk through the airport. I'm walking through the duty-free shop. I don't need anything from the duty-free shop, but I always feel the need to walk through the duty-free shop, look at everything, and say, I don't need anything. So I'm walking up and down the aisles of the duty-free shop, thinking I have all this time, and I slowly start casually walking over to the gate, and there I see, like from way distance, like 15 gates away, it's like a mile down the airport, that, final boarding, the thing is closing. I'm like, oh my God, it's like 5:13, final boarding's like 5:15, and I'm thinking that's like the initial boarding. So I go racing down, they have those conveyor belts.
Right, yeah.
And I'm on the conveyor belt, and I'm like, I'm running, I'm not, with that conveyor belt, I'm like Usain Bolt.
Right,
I'm like
going.
zipping, I'm zipping.
I've done that before.
Right, and then I get to the end of the conveyor belt, and I go, whoa! Because I didn't realize, I have a bad knee.
Oh, man.
Right, so I went flying.
Did you fall?
I fell right on my ass, So, the add insult to injury, nobody comes to help me. Everybody's just walking around me. So I get up very casually, like, there was nothing happening. Of course I meant to do that, Of course I meant to take a flop. I go limping to the gate, and I'm thinking I missed my plane. And they say to me, oh, don't worry, Miss. So I'm like, oh my God, did I miss it? He goes, no, don't worry, we're delayed 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So I got on the plane, but I thought we were definitely missing it. But so then I asked for some ice, and my knee still hurts me a little bit. Sheesh. So it got me thinking, got me thinking. The reason why I was out of shape, okay, and I was breathing heavily, and I take a flop, and there's like fat guy on the floor in the airport in Paris. Nobody helps the fat guy on the floor. So I'm thinking that I got to lose some weight. And I say to myself, you know what? It's good to lead a healthy life.
Absolutely.
All right? And I've decided myself that I am going to lose 10% of my weight in the next 6 weeks.
Wow.
And I am going to ask the Brad Squad to help me. Because it is cheaper for the Brad Squad to help me than for me to go to Weight Watchers. That was my thinking. Okay? And I think maybe everybody could use some good health, right?
Absolutely.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to start, Yo-Yo, today, something we like to call here the Brad Challenge.
Whoa.
That is right. The Brad Challenge. Here it is, Yo-Yo. What we're going to do is I am going to lose 10%. I'm 5'8". I weigh 180 pounds. And in 6 weeks from today, I am going to be 162 pounds with the help of the Brad Squad.
Nice.
Anybody who wants to do the challenge with me, the challenge is this.
All right.
You have to lose 10% of your body weight, and let's get into shape for the summer.
Nice.
So if anybody wants to do it, you can in the comment section, if you don't want to put what your full weight is, and maybe it's nobody's business, you can say I'm in, and you can weigh yourself every day and just say okay and calculate. Let's say for example you weigh 150 pounds. You have to lose 10%. That's 15 pounds.
Right.
Okay. If you weigh 120, that means you got to lose 12. You got to get down to 108.
Right.
So what we're going to do is, I don't really want to know anybody's weight, but if you want to share it, I'm going to share my weight with you. It's 180 pounds right now. So I have to lose 18 pounds, and I have to get to 162 pounds. Anybody who wants to do the challenge with me, every day I'm going to announce what my weight is. I'm going to shame myself into losing these 18 pounds. It's hashtag Brad Challenge.
So how exactly are you going to be losing this?
Well, I'm starting the Brad diet, which is eggs for breakfast, salad for lunch.
Without egg whites, you mean?
Not gonna have regular eggs. It's fine.
You're gonna have the yolk?
Yeah, that's fine. It's protein. Eggs for breakfast.
Okay.
Coffee, obviously. Salad for lunch, and some sort of protein meat for dinner. No potatoes, no sugar, no carbs, no rice, no pasta.
Nice.
Who's in? Who is in? First Lady Hewitt is in.
Oh.
Angela Barrett's in. Connie is in. And by the way, First Lady Hewitt, not afraid to list her weight.
Oh.
Not afraid to list her weight. Who else is going to be in? Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says she exercises 5 to 6 times a day. It's exercise and diet together.
I was about to say, are you going to
I'm
exercise
going to start
as well?
exercising as well. Yes. So I am right now 180 pounds.
All right.
I'm going to get to 162. Every day we're going to announce the Brad Challenge. I want to know today how many people are in. All right. And I'm going to ask Groundhog Sam to calculate all the people who are in so we can announce every day. We can find out how I'm doing and how they're doing too. And at the end of the day, we're going to figure out. So I'm going to get a list from Groundhog Sam based on the comments today who's in. And every day we're going to find out how I'm doing and how they're doing. 6-week challenge, 10% of our body weight. Now, before you set a weight goal, okay, it's important to understand the benefits of losing weight. Okay, so yeah, you want to look good.
Right.
Right, you want to look sexy.
Of course.
Right. You want to feel good.
Yes.
Right. Now, you don't have to lose hundreds of pounds to enjoy the medical benefits of weight loss. All right. In fact, some studies show that just even 5% decrease in your weight can change your health. I'm going for 10.
Nice.
10% of my weight. Okay. So these are some of the benefits. Okay. And it's much better than taking stupid supplements and all sorts of crap, cholesterol lowering drugs or even organic lowering, whatever. Just lose the weight. Decreases your risk of diabetes. It lowers your blood pressure, improves your cholesterol, decreases your risk of heart disease, decreases your risk of cancer, improve mobility, decrease joint pain, improve blood sugar, decrease risk of stroke, reduce back pain, decrease risk of osteoporosis. You get rid of your sleep apnea. You're going to have a more active social life, greater confidence, better sleep, improved energy, improved sex life for hump day.
Whoa.
Decrease stress, improve body image, improve vitality, and improve mood. Now, if I even get half of those, I'm going to be happy.
You'll be good.
I'm going to be very good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and you naturally just feel better.
You feel better.
You get more energy.
That's right.
When you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I feel good.
That's right.
You know?
So your first step to losing weight should be set a reasonable goal. So I've set a reasonable goal for everybody. I've made the goals 10%. The studies say you lose 10%. You're going to be in much better shape, much better health.
Yes.
Okay? So now we're going to make small daily routine changes. So the days that I'm not going to the gym, I'm going to walk home from work.
Okay.
Rather than take a subway or a taxi.
That's good.
Okay? And that's what we're going to do. Brad Challenge, what do you think?
And you guys could do at-home workouts as well, because you just go on YouTube and find so many easy at-home workouts. So if you don't go to the gym, it doesn't mean that you can't still exercise.
Right. Now, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says it's easy. Just watch what you eat. Well, easier said than done.
It is especially when you're so used to eating a certain type of way.
Right. If you want to lose the weight, you have to have a goal. You have to do it with people. Everybody has to encourage each other. And for those who want to get into shape with me and want to lose the weight with me, because I'm going to do it, we're going to encourage each other every day.
So, I just got the black card at Planet Fitness, and there is a Planet Fitness about 10 minutes away of a walk.
Very, very fancy that you have the black card.
Well, I'm saying we can go one day.
We can.
Let's go together.
We can.
After work.
Maybe.
Or before.
Or either. How about during work?
I don't know how we'll do that.
I don't know how we'll do that either, but we can figure it out.
Yes.
All right, so as I feel the weight coming off of me, and as I was once profoundly told, okay, better to wear Italian than eat Italian.
This is true.
Okay.
This is true.
Right?
Yes.
Better to wear Italian than eat Italian.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to ask everybody to please share this while I get ready for our daily schmooze.
Absolutely. And also, don't forget to take a before and after picture.
We have the before picture right here. Look, here it is. Julian, here's before. Here it is.
You got to do body, too.
Here it is. Here's the body. Here it is. Woo! All right, there you got it. There's our before. And in 6 weeks, I'm going to do the same exact thing.
All right, everybody. You guys already know what we have to do right now. This is our first day back from a couple of days of missing the show. So what we need you guys to do right now is share. Everybody on Facebook right now, I need you guys to share. So you already know how to do it. Just press that little arrow where it says share it to people's pages, private pages and groups, and also private messages, because that's another way to get everything out. So right now, I don't want you guys to like get used to me saying this and not share. I need you guys to share right now. And also, you can start a group. You could start a watch party. So when you start a watch party, you and your friends can actually just comment in your own section and also come back to the Brad Squad section to say what you want to say as well. All right, and we cannot forget, we also want you guys to interact. We love to hear what you guys have to say. We're about to schmooze really soon, so we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about some of the news that we're going to be talking about. So talk to us, talk to each other. Like, love, laugh, wow, sad face, mad face, whatever you're feeling, let us know in the videos, okay? And also now for YouTube, you guys are not off the hook. You guys also have to interact. We love to see and hear what you guys have to say. And also, you guys don't forget, we will be getting social media questions very soon. So make sure you put your questions down as well. Also, share on YouTube. Copy the link, send it in a WhatsApp group. It's the easiest way to get it out to everybody. Just easily make a group and just copy and paste. All right, guys, now it's the next segment where we're gonna schmooze with Brad.
You got it, schmoozing with Brad.
I've been practicing.
Yes, I see that. I see that.
It came with my tan.
All right, so the big news of the day is Julian Assange. You know who he is? He was the founder of WikiLeaks.
Yes.
He is Pamela Anderson's lover from Baywatch.
Did not know that.
Yeah, you know. Yeah,
I know Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, she would go visit him all the time.
Okay.
You know, like Pamela Anderson to Julian Assange is like Jilly Bean to Hasselhoff.
Oh, okay.
All right, same type of deal, right?
Okay.
So police, they entered the Ecuadorian embassy because they were both on Baywatch. You got that?
Okay.
The Hasselhoff.
Yes, okay. I got that.
All right, so they entered the Ecuadorian embassy in London today and forcibly removed the WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange. Ecuador took back his political asylum, and he was holed up in the embassy in Knightsbridge in London. Here's the video of him coming out.
Oh,
he
wow.
was actually forced out.
Oh, wow.
Look at him, a little unshaven there. Looks like me after a week of not shaving. And he was actually forced out. And the Ecuadorians, I think, got tired of sheltering him. Perhaps there was political pressure as well behind the scenes. We don't know. I find it interesting that this is all done within a week or 2 weeks of the Mueller report being completed. Now, he's being charged in the United States of America with conspiring to hack into a computer as part of the original WikiLeaks leaking back from 2010, giving secret American documents and secret codes that the American spies were using for different computer things. This all goes back to that. He's also wanted for sexual rape in Switzerland or Sweden. I forgot where it was. In Sweden. But I believe he's going to be extradited from Great Britain to the United States of America. The judge has said that, which judge is this? I'm not sure. But the judge in England today called Assange a narcissist who could not get beyond his own selfish interests, finding him guilty of breaking his bail conditions, and he is now going to face at least 12 months in British jail before he may be even extradited, perhaps, to the United States of America. In July 2016, this is a big deal because in July 2016, this is why I said it could be related to this Mueller report. I don't know for sure. In July 2016, WikiLeaks published nearly 20,000 emails from Democratic National Committee staffers that appeared to show the committee favoring presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. Now, President Trump would say on the campaign trail, whoever WikiLeaks is, let's release more emails, release more emails.
Right.
Now, today, when asked by reporters in the Oval Office whether he still loves WikiLeaks, he says he doesn't know anything about WikiLeaks. Are you kidding me? He's the guy who said, I love WikiLeaks, keep releasing them. Trump added, I know nothing really about him, that's not my deal in life. Now in 2016, at a campaign rally, there is a video recording of Trump saying, WikiLeaks, I love WikiLeaks.
Are you serious?
Yes. Meanwhile, Attorney General William Barr is testifying in a second day that he's now going to look into spying allegations by Trump of him by the FBI during the Republican and presidential campaign into his Republican campaign in 2016. The Democrats have accused the Attorney General of mischaracterizing the FBI's counterintelligence investigation as an effort to please Trump. He's used the word spying, which is basically a really loaded term. Virginia Senator Mark Warner told CNN, "I'm amazed that the Attorney General would make that kind of statement. I think it is in many ways disrespectful to the men and women who work in the Department of Justice, and it shows, I think, either a lack of understanding or willful ignorance on what goes into a counterintelligence investigation." We have a video of Nancy Pelosi, which she said basically that this guy has gone off the rails in only a few weeks. Let's watch.
Let me just say how very, very dismaying and disappointing that the chief law enforcement officer of our country is going off the rails.
Now, according to a source familiar with this thinking, when Barr spoke of spying on the Trump campaign by the FBI, he meant it in the classic sense of intelligence collection. He doesn't view the term as disapproving. That was his take on it. So it wasn't a bad term, spying. But when you hear that the Trump saying at these campaign rallies that the FBI is spying on me, it makes it out like the FBI is bad people.
Of course.
Okay, which is really what he wants people. He wants to say it's us against them.
Right.
This deep state thing. Now, it was started, by the way, the FBI, I think, did the right thing. British intelligence called the FBI and said he thinks that some people in the Trump campaign are being compromised by the Russians. What is the FBI supposed to do? Do nothing?
Right. That's their job.
And by the way, Mueller is indicted, I don't know how many people because of this.
Right.
All right, including Russian companies. So that's what's going on there. Meanwhile, in immigration news, Kristen Nielsen, who was really tough on immigration, was a really nasty lady, actually, when it comes to immigrants. If you remember and see on a regular basis what's going on at the border, she was fired by Donald Trump over the weekend. So was Ralph Ailes, the Secret Service director. So was the Department of Homeland Security Acting Deputy Secretary Claire Grady. So was the head of ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement. So was the head of USCIS, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. And Trump says the reason is because nobody's really listening to him. He wants to get tougher on the border. He wants to separate families. He's telling people all over the world not to come to America. We're full. Okay, literally are his words. Now, he's going to put people into huge policy decisions that are going to absolutely violate the laws. There's going to be thousands of lawsuits, federal judges putting injunctions on Trump because the current people who were really bad and nasty people to begin with when it comes to immigration actually tried to follow the law a little bit. Now he's putting in people who aren't even going to
who's not
care
going
less.
to care.
Right. So,
Wow.
Yes.
And all of them got fired this weekend?
They all got fired this weekend, but one
Sheesh.
second, I got one other thing to say here. An administration official said Trump recently told Stephen Miller, one of his most hardline advisors, that's the guy we call Lurch, you're in charge of the administration's immigration policy, and that Trump also told aides he wants to reinstate his family separation. So basically, Stephen Miller's in charge, who is a racist.
Yes, absolutely.
An absolute racist is in charge of immigration. Which brings me to one of the lawsuits we talk about all the time. Where is my notes here? My notes are missing. They were here at one point, but I don't know where they are anymore. Here it is. One of the lawsuits, the SIJ. Remember, we talk about it all the time. Special immigrant juveniles.
Yes.
Now, on SIJ, if you are a child living in America and a guardian brings you to family court and gets full custody of you and can show in a family court proceeding that it's not in your best interest to be returned to at least one of your biological parents, that means even a biological parent can do it, okay? Or an aunt, or an uncle, or a grandma, or a complete stranger, a friend, can bring a child into family court, get guardianship of them, show it's not in their best interest to be returned to at least one of the biological parents because of abuse, neglect, abandonment. That child can apply for something called special immigrant juvenile. Trump wanted to stop this. Okay, now in the Immigration and Nationality Act, the definition of a child, they define what a child is in the Immigration and Nationality Act. The definition of a child in the Immigration and Nationality Act is somebody under the age of 21.
Okay.
Now what Trump did was, and we get these questions all the time with the sitches, what Trump did was he said, if you got guardianship over the age of 18, you're really an adult. You're not a child anymore, and therefore we're not going to approve your sitch. So everyone between 18 and 21 who was in a family court proceeding and somebody got legal guardianship of them, and a federal judge says it's not in this child's best interest, who's under 21, to be reunited with one of their biological parents, all of those children were entitled to green cards through a special juvenile immigrant petition. All of them were denied by the Trump administration. Prior to the Trump administration, Obama, Bush second, Clinton, they would all approve them.
Wow.
So now there was a federal class action lawsuit in Southern District of New York. A federal judge ruled today. Actually yesterday, my apologies, was when I was on the plane. I read about it. Federal judge ruled yesterday, it's in a case called RFM versus Nielsen, that the Immigration Service has to reinstate every application of every SIJ that was denied because the person was over 18 and under 21 in the United States of America. That's whether you got a denial from a notice of intent to deny, whether you got your case revoked after it was approved, whether you got denied and the case is on appeal or you never did an appeal, or whether it was revoked previously and you never tried to do anything else with it again. The federal judge says that the Trump administration has 60 days to reinstate all of these cases and adjudicate them.
Wow. And this is just in New York or all cases?
The United States of America.
Oh, wow.
So for every person out there who has a SIJ case, who was denied, whose case is on appeal, between 18 and 21, you should be contacting our office immediately. Immigration has 60 days to reopen your case. I am telling you, they're not going to do it. Okay?
So if they don't do it,
you go right back into federal court with Abadir.
For mandamus.
And you get a mandamus, you get your green card.
Wow.
All right? So when we're talking about that he's firing all of these people at the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, and he says, I'm going to get tougher and tougher.
Right.
Go away. There's laws in the Constitution. So I said there's going to be 1 million lawsuits.
Sheesh.
It's going to end up being 1 million lawsuits.
So how about the newer ones? So if you are between 18 and 21 now, that
was not covered in this particular class action lawsuit, but I'm sure there will be other lawsuits in the future.
Wow.
All right. This is all about people who have already been denied.
That have been denied.
Right.
Gotcha.
Or whose cases are on appeal.
Y'all better call.
Talking about that, Trump was at El Paso, Texas over the weekend, and he told the ICE officers in El Paso, Texas, tell people at the border who are applying for asylum, I'm quoting this, we're full, our system's full, our country's full, can't come in. Our country is full, what can you do? Can't handle anymore, our country is full, can't come in, I'm sorry, it's very simple.
It's so annoying.
Okay? Behind the scenes, the two officers, sources told CNN that the president told the border agents not to let the migrants in no matter what the law says. Tell them we don't have the capacity. If the judge gives you trouble, say, sorry, judge, I can't do it. We don't have the room. After the president left the room, speaking to all the ICE officers there in El Paso, Texas, the agents sought further advice from their leaders who told them that they were not given that direction, and if they did what the president said, they would take on personal liability.
Yeah.
So you have to follow the law, they were told. Which is why Trump fired all those other people. Okay, now...
So how is that legal, that Trump actually wants you to not follow the law? How is that legal?
It's not legal.
But how does he get away with that, though, then?
But they have to follow the law. Okay, and if you don't follow the law, then there's something called. This is why there's an Abadir.
Right.
Okay? This is why there are courts.
Right.
Okay, we haven't even talked about what's called a Bivens action. A Bivens action is when you sue an agent personally because they didn't follow the law.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's an APA claim because the government didn't follow the law.
Right.
Okay, so when we bring actions, not only do we do an APA claim, a lot of times we file a Bivens claim. We personally sue that immigration officer. They're not off the hook. They have to follow law no matter what the president says.
Right. That's insane.
That's insane. Okay, even Major League Baseball is having problems right now, Yo-Yo.
How?
Okay, the Trump administration told Major League Baseball and the Cuban Baseball Federation that they are not going to allow any Cuban baseball players into the United States this year.
What?
The announcement came less than 2 weeks after the start of the 2019 baseball season and just days after the Federation released the name of 34 Cuban players it said were eligible to sign with Major League Baseball. Now, this agreement between the Cuban Baseball Federation and Major League Baseball was intended to prevent the Cuban athletes from having to sneak into America, take a boat, and apply for asylum. In a statement, Major League Baseball Vice President Michael Tevin said, "We stand by the goal of the agreement, which is to end the human trafficking of baseball players from Cuba." But Trump says, nope, Cuba, you're a shithole too. We don't want your baseball players.
Right.
Nipsey Hussle funeral.
Yes.
Right. Was packed on for a memorial today. It was at the Los Angeles Staples Center.
It was.
The venue was last used for memorial service for Michael Jackson in 2009.
I had just said that too.
Really?
Because I'm from LA, so that's huge.
It's called the Celebration of Life by organizers. The massive gathering for the slain musician and community advocate started at 10 a.m. Tickets were made available for free of charge for anybody who lived in California, and they were gone in 30 minutes. The event was live streamed by BET and Tidal. Nipsey was gunned down March 31st. A guy by the name of Eric Holder, no relation to Eric Holder, the former Attorney General,
No.
has pleaded not guilty to murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Apparently Nipsey knew him.
He did know him.
And
they knew each other.
And I don't know exactly what the tussle was about, but apparently something happened.
Yeah, they said that he did see him like maybe 10, 15 minutes before, and something to the fact of Nipsey told him he didn't want to speak to him because he either snitched on somebody, and back in the hood, like you don't snitch on anybody.
Right.
So he came back with a gun. And that's when that happened. But the service was gorgeous. I had a lot of family members that were there because Nipsey is actually family through marriage. So a lot of my family was there in the front with the whole family. I knew him when I was younger. We all played in, and my aunt had a big restaurant in LA. So like as a kid, we all played together. And obviously once we got older, we all, separated. But it was gorgeous. Stevie Wonder.
He was part of Eritrean.
He's half Eritrean, so
his
from
father,
his dad.
From his dad, right.
Dad. So it was a beautiful service. The fact that they kept on, shouting out the Eritrean community, and he did love his culture and where he came from. Stevie Wonder performed. Yeah. It was huge. So it was a great send off.
So the rapper's family was left to mourn him, including his girlfriend of more than 5 years, Lauren London, with whom he shared a son, and Hussle had a daughter from a prior relationship. Karen Bass, the U.S. representative from that area, has honored the rapper by making Nipsey's contributions to the community part of the congressional record this week.
That's Lauren London's arm. She just got him tatted on her arm. So, and so this was, they were just featured on GQ.
Wow.
A whole
Amazing.
Spread. It's really, really, really sad. And he really just genuinely wanted to do better for the community. He had so much plans for the children in the community. They just named, I think, a street after him. So it's really good that what he did is still going to carry on and continue.
Well, Lauren says, "I'm going to keep my head high and always represent for my king to the fullest." This is what she told the Los Angeles Times. He loved his kids. He was a family man. His family came first.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Yo-Yo, we got to get into some immigration here.
Yes.
Go tell everybody what they need to do while I go stretch and get ready to answer some immigration questions.
Don't stretch that knee too
I
hard.
won't, because I'm going to be 18 pounds lighter in 6 weeks. I won't need to stretch anymore.
You're going to feel good.
I'm going to feel some good.
All right, everybody. Now, Facebook, we need you guys to share right now. This is how we get all our questions. This is exactly how we get people to call in. So if you guys want better stories, more people to call in, we need you to share. So press that share button right now. Share it to people's pages, share it to groups, but most importantly, let's share it in an inbox. So private message people so they can individually get this. And you could also start a watch party. It's very easy, just start a watch party, okay? And also interaction, we definitely want you guys to interact and let us know what you guys think. Thank you so much for all of the condolences and saying so sad about Nipsey, just anything like that. It helps people. We love to hear what you guys are feeling. Also like, love, sad face, happy face, mad face, whatever you're feeling, let us know in the video. All right, now for YouTube, you guys can share as well. Just copy that link and share it to, you can share it directly to your social media platform, or you can actually make a whole group on WhatsApp. So when you make a group on WhatsApp, it's so easy to copy and paste. It's just
broadcast. It's just like a button that says broadcast, right?
It's a very easy button. Like, so just do that. We need more people on YouTube. We definitely need more people on Facebook. This is, like I said, how we get our bread and butter. This is how we get the stories, and this is how we help people. All right, and also, if you're watching on YouTube right now, we need you to press that thumbs up. We need you guys to show us how much you guys love this. So there's, let me see, I see 94 people watching right now. There's only 6 thumbs up. Let's press that right now, all right? And also, to get the notifications, make sure you subscribe. We need y'all to subscribe as well, all right? Now, we are going to our next segment where you call with your immigration questions and Brad answers. We're getting answers. Call with your immigration questions.
There you got it. There you got it. All right, so we have a whole bunch of people on hold, on hold already. Oh, excuse me. Had a little frog in my mouth there. I don't know what happened there.
You brought a frog from the lilies?
Yes,
The
maybe,
lily pads?
perhaps. Perhaps there was a little frog that jumped right in my mouth there. All right, let's go to Frank in Washington, D.C. Frank, how are you?
Hello?
Hey, Frank, how are you?
What's up, Uncle Brad?
What's going on, Frank? Uncle Brad. I'm getting called Uncle Brad by everybody.
I like it.
Yeah. What's going on?
You know, I really want to talk to you when I'm on for 45 minutes.
You really have I know you have a pressing problem if you held off for 45 minutes and listened to the entire show on hold.
Yeah, but you entertained me there. I appreciate it. I'm at work and I'm hiding to talk to you right now.
Oh, my God. All right, so let's go, Frank. You got me. I'll give you all the time you need. What's going on?
Listen, I received, I applied for removal of my condition of my green card, right?
Right.
And recently I received a notice saying we have completed a preliminary review of the application or petition, in bracket your case, case to the USCIS office listed below that has jurisdiction over your case. The office will
contact you. Right.
Will notify you in writing.
Right. Yes. I'm aware of that letter. What is the question?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
What does that mean?
Is there anything to worry about? Because
no, this is what I'll tell you what it means. When they transfer the file to the local office, that means the local office is going to schedule you for an interview. That's what it means.
But it's not a local office. They're spreading it to Texas.
Oh, they sent it to Texas? Well, then at that point, there's nothing to worry about because simply they're just transferring cases and transferring workloads.
Oh.
All right. So in other words, it's very possible. It's very possible that wherever your case was had a high workload, and the people in Texas got nothing to do, so they transferred it there. So that's just them transferering workloads. But when when you get it transferred to the local office, that means they're going to schedule it for an interview.
Oh, God, my worry was all the 2 years out of conditional. Listen is my situation, right? Mm-hmm. My conditional green card was expired. Was expired a year ago, like April. So right before it expired, I did the paperwork. They sent me a 1-year extension letter. Now, like about a month after that, they sent me an 18-month extension letter saying the workload is heavy, blah 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 blah. I don't remember exactly what it said.
Yeah, it's taking over 2 years, Frank.
Oh.
All right. So just hang in there. If it's more then like if you're at 30 months, contact me because then we need to work for you.
Okay, and a quick question, because
Yeah.
I've never traveled since I get a conditional green card, and I was just scheduled to travel before I get this. It had me a little worrisome, you know what I'm saying?
As long as you have a stamp in your passport, and you're fine. Make sure you have an I-551 stamp in your passport. You're fine.
What's that? I only have the letter of my.
Okay.
Let's say if I'm traveling, use the expired green card plus the letter.
Is that letter still valid?
Yes, it's valid.
Then yes, you can use the expired green card in that letter. You're good.
Okay, Brad, you're the best, man.
You're the
We
best,
appreciate
Frank.
it. But as I say, if 30 months pass, you'll be seeing me.
Thank you very much, Frank. All right, get back to work before you get fired.
And keep doing the good work, Brad. I
thanks.
really appreciate you.
All
Man.
right,
You're
Frank.
the best.
Take care. Appreciate it.
All right, cool.
Everybody call me Uncle Brad.
I know, I like that.
I feel like I'm Mr. Rogers now all of a sudden,
No,
right?
that's
I should
not-
be sitting next to a fire in like a vest or something, right?
Like a cardigan or
Yeah,
something?
maybe with like a pipe.
little
Oh yes,
pipe.
you have a question.
That actually be
Would that
pretty
be
funny.
funny?
That actually would be pretty
Like
funny.
Uncle Brad, there's crazy Uncle Brad with his pipe next to that fireplace. Let's go to Prince in Columbus, Ohio.
Hello,
Prince,
Brad.
how are you?
Hey, what are you doing, guys?
Prince.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Brad.
I hear you.
Good. I had a question. My friend of mine who just came in from, he came on a fake papers, and he came in and he was sick for political asylum, but he was paroled and later put in an exclusion case, right? And eventually, the case didn't go on, and he was denied asylum, and he was deported. He went back home, and he won the lottery of DV1,
Right.
and he just came back. Yeah, I just want to know if he have a chance of becoming a U.S. citizen, or he got to remain in his green card, or maybe he got deported again when he for an interview.
Wait, all right. So let me understand this. He came to the United States. He applied for asylum. He lost and got deported.
Right.
Okay. When was this?
1996. He was deported in
1996. All right. So he
Right.
didn't lie or anything. He didn't make any lie or anything, right? He was just
He was just put in an exclusion case, and he didn't get a letter to go to court, and he was put in a deportation, and he was deported in 1996.
Okay.
He went back home and won the lottery a year later and came back to the United States.
And that was a year later. Now, did they know when he won the lottery and got his green card? Did they know he was ordered excluded a year earlier?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's the problem, because when he goes to apply for citizenship, it's all going to be discovered. And then he's going to have a big problem. So what I would suggest he does, Prince, is do nothing, have a private consultation with me, and then we'll take it from there, okay? But, because what happens is when you, like, that happens, like you got excluded, you left, immigration gave you a green card, you shouldn't have gotten it, had they known the true facts. When you go to do your citizenship, it's all going to be discovered, and they're going to say you should never got your green card in the first place and put them in deportation. So hold on one second, okay? Let's go to Adrian in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Adrian.
Yes, hello?
How are you, Adrian?
I'm doing good. I'm calling in regards to my best friend.
Okay.
She was married to her husband, and things didn't work out. So what happened? She filed an abuse case because she was being abused.
Right.
Now, that case was denied, and after that case was denied, then she went ahead and got married to a female.
Okay.
She was filing for her, and then all of a sudden, immigration said it's a special case, and
why is it
they're
a
not
special
giving
case?
any information. Yeah.
Why is it a special case? Why?
They're not giving any information verbally or online.
Who said it's a special case? Where'd you get that term, special case?
Yeah, she called, and the agent from the immigration place told her that, and said she should write to the service center where her case is being transferred
So
to.
she called, and some person on the other side of the phone said special case?
Right.
I wish I had the bullshit buzzer here, because I'm not saying you're full of shit or the woman who she spoke to is lying, but that immigration officer, they have no idea if it's a special case. It's an outside contractor. It's not the immigration service. They have no idea if it's a special case or not. So I don't know where they got that. I don't know where they get this terminology from. Now, how long has her adjustment been pending on this case?
About 6 months, 6 or 7 months.
Okay. Now, she wasn't deported or anything, was she? Was she ordered deported in absentia? Maybe she doesn't know about it. It's the only thing that would hamper her case.
No, the lawyer that was filing her case, when she called her, she said she didn't receive any removal proceedings or anything like that. All they said was the case was denied.
All right. So what I would suggest is, I mean, based on what you told me, the facts that you told me don't add up to what she heard on the phone, and certainly the person on the phone has no idea what they're talking about because this is an outside contractor. They have very limited, very, very limited information what they could see. So I would suggest she has a consultation with me, and let's figure it out. The only time it would be a special case is if they think there was fraud in the first abuse case, or she was ordered deported in abstention, she doesn't know it. Other than that, she has nothing to worry about. Okay?
Okay,
so,
because actually she said they're saying this case is a VAWA case, which the first case was a VAWA case. Her wife is filing for her now.
Yeah, so they're getting mixed up. They're getting mixed up anyway, but I can certainly help and straighten it out. And certainly, I'm going to make her feel better after I'm done because she's going to have less anxiety about this whole thing.
Okay.
All right, so hold on one second, okay? Let's go to Chris in College Park, Maryland. Chris.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Couple of questions. I had previously filed for my wife with the I-130 when I had a green card.
Right.
Now my status has changed to citizen.
Great.
How do I notify my wife's case, the green card? How do
all right, let me ask you a couple questions. Where's your wife?
She's here.
Okay, how'd she come to America?
Visa.
All right. And you have an approved I-130 or a pending I-130?
Pending.
All right. So what you do is you file an I-485 application. You can write, first of all, you write the Immigration Service that you've now become a citizen, and you reference the receipt notice you have on the I-130. You make a photocopy of it. You write a letter, put the case number on top. Say, dear sir or madam, I am now a U.S. citizen. I'm the petitioner in the attached case. Please upgrade the case to a citizen. That's number one. Number two, you're going to take the receipt for the I-130, your citizenship, and you're going to file an entire adjustment package. You don't need to wait for the I-130 to get approved. And that's what you're going to do.
I won't need to wait for the I-130 to get approved?
No. File the receipt for the I-130 because you have a pending I-130 already. So here's the receipt. I'm now a citizen. I'm eligible to file an adjustment. I have a pending I-130. That I-130 is already filed. And here's my adjustment application. So you file the adjustment with the receipt, with the letter that you requested an upgrade, with your citizenship or copy of it.
Right.
That's it.
Will that speed up the process?
Of course, because she's going to get a work permit and a green card interview. Other than that, you're waiting for another 12, 18 months for an approval of an I-130. You're not going to do that.
Okay, so let me get this straight. I have to... You right again?
This is what you do, all right? Because you can go back. I can't, go back and watch again, but I gave you all the instructions. I promise you, okay? This is Safe for Life. This is Safe for Life on Facebook and YouTube. Let's go to Thomas in New Orleans, Louisiana. Thomas.
Hello, good evening.
How are you,
Uncle
Thomas?
Brad?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
What's that? He called me Uncle Brad too? Everybody have Uncle Brad now. Everyone has a name. They gave me a name, right?
Right.
I never wanted
Uncle
a
Brad.
name. I never wanted a name. I was trying to be cool and be everyone else around me has a name, but I don't get a name. But now I'm Uncle Brad.
We never want a name until it's given to you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's been given to you.
It's been given to me. Okay, Thomas, what's up?
Very informative program, sir.
Thank you.
My question to you, Mr. Bernstein, I would like some guidance because I'm not sure what to do. But
go ahead.
My case is I came to the U.S. on a visitor's visa for vacational purposes. I then applied for a university to do an MBA. I got through, and I started the application, the I-539 for a change of status.
Right.
All right. I would have gotten acceptance receipts that I got my application, so on and so forth. But the problem that I'm having now, sir, is that they requested additional evidence right?
What are
And
they
when I
requesting?
submitted,
What are they- what-
what they requested,
tell me what they
what they requested was, I don't have the long sheet with
But
me.
just give me
Uncle
a
Brad,
general
but-
idea. Give me a general idea.
But, what they requested extra evidence support as financial, with a light, any form of utility bills, mortgage, back home from a home country, stuff like that. You know, so
and
yes,
you're doing a change of status to a student?
yes, to a F1,
Okay.
even though
All right, so
I would have to go.
They wanted proof that you're going to return, I guess, to your home country when your student visa's up. I guess that's what they were asking.
Yes, not a
Right.
student visa, because based on my little reading thus far, I would not get a student visa, but I would get like a I-779
Right,
something.
correct.
C.
You would
Yes,
not
yes,
get.
I would have to.
You are technically correct.
Yes.
You wouldn't get a visa. Visa's given at a
Visa.
consulate.
Yes,
You
at a
would get
consulate.
student status. So yes,
Yes.
you are technically correct.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, no, Sir Einstein. So the thing about it now, Mr. Bernstein, is
Yes.
that when I submitted those additional evidence that they requested, sir, the notice that I received a few weeks, no more than a week later, was that my application was denied based on the ground of abandonment of file, because they are advancing that they did not receive those additional evidence that they requested in the specified time that was given to me.
You have proof that it was done on time?
Yes, I have proof, sir, that it was done on time.
All right,
but
so
I'm not sure if there is any protocol that timely manner that I submitted it in is reasonable ground. So I just want you to guide me and tell me what to do.
All right.
What
So
I'm going to say to you then is,
you got 3 choices, 4 choices, okay, and they're all crappy choices because you got screwed. But I'm going to give you all 4 crappy choices, okay, and you got to pick from one of them. All right. One is you can make a motion for them to reopen and reconsider your case back to USCIS, pay the filing fee of $675, and say, hey, you made a mistake. I did file on time. Please reconsider and reopen my case. Problem is, it's going to take over a year for them to do it, and very rarely will they admit to making a mistake. I mean, they could admit to the mistake, but it's going to take over a year, and you're going to be stuck here waiting on a decision on a motion to reopen or reconsider. Your time is ticking. You're out of status, and it's unlikely, but maybe possible, that they would reopen your case. But meanwhile, you've already missed a year of school. That's option 1. Option 2 is, where you from?
I'm from Jamaica.
Okay, so that's a crappy option. Option 2 is go back to Jamaica, apply for the student visa in Jamaica. Also crappy option. They're going to say, we don't believe you're going to return back to Jamaica. You've already shown an intent to stay and get a student visa by changing your status. So you could have a problem back at the embassy.
Yes.
Okay, there's no good answer here. Number 3 is abandon the whole student visa thing and try to come up with some other way to become legal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Or 4 is you literally, and I say this all the time, you file an APA claim, because this would be the fastest thing to do, and an injunction, because you're going to be irreparably harmed by not being able to attend school immediately. You file an injunction for irreparable harm and an APA claim because they violated their own rules, because they asked you for this evidence, you submitted it, and they claim it didn't happen, and you have evidence that it was submitted and it did happen. But that means going to a federal judge. That's costly, but certainly that would be, of all 4, that would be the fastest and most reliable way to fix it, but the most expensive as well, because you're suing the government. Versus going to the embassy, getting stuck, making a motion to reopen, waiting a year, or doing something else. I don't know. But those would be your options.
All right. I hear you loud and clear, Uncle Brad.
Right.
So, but my final question is, I want us to give you the dates that I submitted those additional evidence to see if I am on good
and just by
ground.
the way, Thomas, David Gabriel says you should get married, but only get married if it's going to be a bona fide marriage.
That's so true. But we would have to talk, because I'm going to make an appointment to speak to you verbally over the phone.
All right.
But that's why I opted for the school option in doing an MBA, then further my studies.
Right.
But my final question then to you, sir, is I submitted those additional evidence, Uncle Brad, on Friday. It was a Friday, the 9th of March, right? My deadline that the USCIS gave me was the 12th of March. I overnight the package, Uncle Brad, and it reached the USCIS mailbox the Saturday at 12:10 p.m.
All right, so you have the evidence. You got all the evidence you need. That's fine.
It was picked up and signed for the Saturday as well,
Right.
and the deadline was the Tuesday.
You did the right thing, Tuesday.
Yes, the Tuesday. So I'm just wondering if maybe because it did not reach the relevant authority before the 12th, you know?
No, it did reach before the 12th. It reached 2 days before the 12th. So as long as it reaches the mailbox, you complied.
All right, sir.
All right, so hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let's go to Nicole in Atlanta, Georgia. Nicole.
Hi, Uncle Brad. How are you
doing?
today?
Uncle Brad. Oh, my God.
Everybody call him Uncle Brad from now on, all right?
All right, what's going on?
Okay, my question to you. My mom is filing for her 3 kids who are unmarried, right? She started filing from April 2013, and she was a green card holder at that time. And all we had received was a notification to say they had received that she's filing for us, but no further action until they get visa date. They will update us.
When did she file? How long ago?
She filed from April 2013.
And these are children over 21?
Yes, but when she filed, one of the kids wasn't over 21.
But now they are.
Repeat?
But now they are.
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you looked on the website? It's still pending, right? These visa petitions?
Well, when we went on it, probably like 2 weeks ago, since we haven't heard anything more, it was saying they can't give us any more information on what they have.
All right. They're up to October 22nd, 2012. If these kids were filed in 2013, we need to get I-130s approved very soon, because if not, they're going to miss their priority dates, because we got to get the I-130s approved and start doing the processing at the National Visa Center. So at this point, since it's been 6 years and you have no approval or anything, I think it's time to let the professionals handle it. You should give me a call. Let me try to get the wheels of justice moving, and if not, it's going to be a mandamus.
Okay.
All right, so hold on one second, Nicole, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Richard in Hartford, Connecticut. Richard. Richard.
Hello, good afternoon. Good evening, Mr. Brad. How are you doing,
How are you?
I'm fine. Just a little bit of your time.
Sure.
I've received a letter, because me and my wife are putting everything and get approved for the I-130 and the 485, but they had sent a letter to me, said I got an appointment in Jamaica. So I don't know what that's all about.
Well, you filed an I-130, and then you filed an I-485 after, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so the national, what's going on is this hand, which is the right, or maybe you're looking at it as my left, I'm not sure, and this hand, these two hands, the right and the left don't know each other. So you filed an adjustment. Where do you live, in Connecticut?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So you filed an adjustment application in Hartford, Connecticut, but the Hartford, Connecticut office doesn't talk to the National Visa Center to tell them that you have an adjustment pending. So all you need to do is write the National Visa Center a letter, attach a copy of whatever the most recent correspondence you got from the National Visa Center with that case number, which would start, you're from Jamaica, KNG, whatever it is, and just say, hi, I'm in Connecticut, I filed my adjustment in Hartford, please transfer the case to Hartford, end of story.
You know the funny thing? What? I did that.
And they still doing it?
What did they tell me?
Write it again.
Yeah, I did that and posted it the other day.
Then you should hear from them in about 4 weeks.
But the thing is, no, I'm wondering because I'm here from 2004. And my cousin was saying probably because I didn't pay the overstay fee. That's why they said that. And the overstay fee is like $1,000.
You filed an adjustment. You should have paid $1,225.
Yeah, I paid.
That's it. It has nothing to do with what your cousin said. It has to do with one hand doesn't know the other, and you'll hear from them in a few weeks. Don't worry.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to Kim in Bronx. Kim.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
I filed my adjustment of status. I'm waiting on an interview.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a job last year. I get my work permit and everything. I had a job last year, September. Start working. Then I stopped working this year, February, because of a lack of job there at the job.
Okay.
So I went back to the job. They said they only have like few days for me to come in.
Okay.
But I could file for unemployment. But what I want to know, if I file for unemployment, would it affect my case?
You are pending adjustment application?
Yeah.
Okay. You're entitled to unemployment. It has nothing to do with poverty guidelines as long as you're authorized to work legally in America.
Okay. Just want to know that.
Yes. As long as you have a work permit, you can apply.
Okay. No problem.
All
Thank
right.
you, Brad.
You're welcome. All right. So with that, Yo-Yo.
Yes.
Before we get into our social media check-in, I do want to remind everybody that we do appear on Facebook and YouTube, but we also have Instagram pages as well. You can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. You can follow my trips around the world. I do travel a lot. I enjoy it. I like meeting new people and new cultures. And you can also see our or my success selfies, some of my success selfies with some of our clients that we do some good work with. And hopefully very soon, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, you're going to see highlights of every show on Instagram in the stories. 2 minutes of highlights of every show. So in case you missed it, you can always watch the highlights on my Instagram page at Real Brad Bernstein. All you got to do is follow me. And if I know you, I'll follow you back. I promise. Now, you can also follow us at Brad Show Live. That's a little bit of a different Instagram page. It goes a little more in depth of, in the stories, highlights of me answering immigration questions, as well as highlighting some of the guests that we have on our show. And of course, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias has a Instagram page as well.
Of course, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV. You can see my journey and a lot of the things that I do outside of Brad Show Live and with Brad Show Live. So follow me, hit me up.
There you go. And Jonathan, we got to do something we like to call social media check-in.
All right. Oof, got a lot.
Uh-oh. That's what I think.
All right. Our first one comes from Instagram saying, how long does it take for a citizen to file for their child who is over 21 years old?
About 7 or 8 years, assuming the child.
Okay.
Assuming the child is is not married.
Okay. Teiko says, good afternoon. Have a question. My friends came to the USA as tourists in the airport. They put only the day of entry in the passport. No day of departure is mentioned. Usually they allow to stay for 6 months. Is this normal? What can they do?
It's normal now. They do not tell you when to leave. It's going to be 6 months unless they tell you otherwise. But you can Google Department of Homeland Security I-94, and you can see it electronically on the Department of Homeland Security, the exact date you're supposed to leave.
All right, Rude Boy says, hey, Brad, what if you win $800 on a lottery ticket and did not report it to the IRS? Will your application for citizenship be denied? Please reply. I filed for citizenship.
I would speak to a tax consultant or a tax preparer or an accountant. I really don't know what the law is in terms of declaring $800 lottery winnings. I would assume that you would have to declare it simply because there is a record that the state gave you something. Go amend your taxes, and then it's not a problem. All right?
Y'all definitely should talk to Carmela because let me tell you,
I
did, and I did my taxes with Carmela, and
right.
she is
she
works
tax
here.
lawyer
She's our tax lawyer here. Guys, definitely. Actually, you should actually call Carmela. You can just call this number and get a free consultation. Yes, she hooked me up. She helped me out. All right.
Did she really hook you up?
Yeah. Jonathan approved.
Jonathan, there.
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah, so hit up Carmela for that. Funny. Please talk about citizenship in 400 process, like interview, oath ceremony, and entire process.
Talk about it?
Yeah, like
just give me okay. So file the file the N-400. You're gonna pay $725. You will get a receipt notice. A few weeks later, you're gonna take a biometric. About 12 to 18 months later, you're gonna go for an interview. They want to know you're a person of good moral character for the last 5 years. They want to know that you paid your taxes and filed them for the last 5 years, unless you didn't work, and then you got to show why you didn't work and how you supported yourself. They got to know that you're going to take an oath of allegiance to the United States of America, that when they talk about good moral character, that you don't have any criminal records, you're not deportable, that you pay your child support if you have child support to pay. And in the end, they're going to ask you questions about government history and civics that a sixth grader who studies in the United States would know. What's the color of, they're not going to ask what's the color of George Washington's horse, right?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
But they're going to ask, who is George Washington?
Yes.
They will ask, who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Jonathan, you've been on the streets asking people citizenship questions. What else?
They'll ask about like the cabinet and just like
Correct.
how many or what
how many stars are on the
right,
flag,
and like what the amendments mean.
Correct.
And them
Correct.
just ask you like certain things like that. Also geographical things like what states.
But there's a test online.
There is.
You can pull up the test questions online, and ultimately you'll pass, hopefully, and you become a U.S. citizen and go for a swearing-in date.
Yeah. All right, Ali Messina says, I got my I-360 approved on December 31st, 2018. How long does it take to get the interview? And I'll get my permanent residency or temporary one. I have a work permit and SSN.
You got the I-130 approved, but you
Yes.
didn't get an I-45 adjustment?
It doesn't say anything about the I-485.
Well, if she has a work permit, it would be through the I-45. It takes anywhere from 12 to 30 months to get an appointment from the time you filed the I-45.
All right, Therese says, hey, I have an asylum case interview but I still waited for my I-130 to be approved. And they said it's being reviewed to be a patient.
No, not to be a patient. Be patient.
Oh, reviewed to be patient. Okay, to be patient.
Being reviewed for you to be a patient in a hospital.
I was like,
no,
I don't get
be
it.
patient.
Okay, for a finally decision, but my asylum lawyer said we have to go to the interview and talk to the judge. My question is, what's going to happen on that day?
Well, you haven't got an asylum interview yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So I would suggest you watch in a few minutes. We're going to play a short. You know what? Maybe we should do that now, and then we'll come back to social media, because this would be a perfect time to discuss Abadir sues the government, and we were talking about mandamus and APA claims right now. No? We'll do it later then.
I think we should do it later.
Okay,
Let her
fine.
stay on
Fine.
to watch.
Watch.
we
And
still have-
it's about what to do with your asylum case if it's pending more than 3 years.
Right.
Okay.
That would be good for you to
I was
watch
gonna go.
after.
We have that ready to go, but go watch in a few minutes.
Yeah,
How's
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I like
That's
your
perfect.
producing.
Yes,
Very good
that's
producing,
perfect.
Jonathan.
Yeah. All right, now it's about 4 a.m. This is what her name is. If my petitioner is no longer living in the U.S., would that affect my green card?
Yeah, if you are coming to be reunited with a family member and that family member doesn't live in America, then who are you coming to be reunited with?
Yeah, that's the first question.
Yes.
I've never heard that before. Carla says, should I be worried about ICE if I'm going to the IRS office?
Not really.
Okay. A question. In 2014, I was married to a female. I'm a male. Things didn't work out, so I filed an abuse case. I got denied in 2018. Now I'm married to a male. I did my fingerprints. They sent a paper for me to do my physical, and now they won't give me any information verbally or online. They said my case is special, and I got to write.
This is the same person who called.
Oh, they called?
Right. The only reason is special is that they may be investigating for fraud. You know why you were in a heterosexual marriage and now you're
going
in a
to
same-sex marriage. That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay,
but they need to have the consultation.
A consultation. Yeah. Mohammed says, I've got an update to the work permit, like we were saying earlier, and says that the new card is being produced, but travel documents is saying that the case was received. That it means I'm going to get travel documents. I'm waiting for a work permit.
Yes, you will get an advance parole. You'll get your work permit. If you filed the I-131 and the I-765, you'll get both at the same time.
So how long will it take to mail the EAD?
You'll get it. If you file the I-765 and the I-131 simultaneously, it's going to be a combo card that you get with both your work permit and advance parole.
All right. Akeem says, my wife submitted our marriage certificate when she was doing her citizenship application. The fact that I overstayed, should she be concerned about immigration asking her about me at the interview?
No.
Youssef says, I got married to my new husband and we filed a 2018 tax return together as a joint. It was approved, and when the return came back, it says that the refund has been used to pay off a loan my husband got before we were married. I'm in the processing of filing for an injured spouse. Can this affect my adjustment status? And will it affect my chances of getting a green card through my new husband? Presently, I have an EAD from my previous marriage as a dependent on my ex-husband on pending asylum.
Your tax problem won't affect you getting your green card.
Awesome. Petagay says, my question is, I sent USCIS my AOS 3 weeks ago. I haven't heard anything back. I tried to call them, but all I'm getting is it could take 30 days. Is this true?
Yes, as long as your check was cashed or the money order was cashed, that's the only thing you got to be concerned about. If it's cashed, you know they got it.
Okay, no corruptos, no impunidad.
I love that name. Yeah.
I like that name too. Married with a U.S. citizen, had an interview scheduled May 2019. The husband abused me verbally. Now we're separated. Vawa, can that help me? What should I do?
Yeah, you can file an abuse case. Why not?
All right.
Call us.
Yeah, you should call. Mohammed says, F1 visa student married to a U.S. citizen and traveling outside of the country without adjustment of status on the F1 visa. Is this safe to travel to home, and will there be any issues on entry?
Do you have an F1 visa?
Yes.
Then travel.
All right. Rajab says, I filed my I-918 2 years ago.
My I-918?
I've never heard that. I-918.
I-918. Okay, continue.
2 years ago. How long does it take to approve New York or approve my U visa case? And I don't have any driver's license to drive a car. May I be eligible to get a driver's license when my case is ongoing, because every time I have to depend on Uber?
Okay, U visas are people who are victims of crimes, serious crimes. They're taking 7-8 years to get approved. They only issue 10,000 a year. But what the law says is after 6 months, you can file for a work permit based on humanitarian reasons. Now, you should do that immediately. Show your humanitarian reasons. You're taking Ubers to get to work. Or whatever you're doing, you need to work to support yourself. It's going to be 7 years. And ultimately, immigration should give you a work permit. If not, then you would definitely file an APA claim against them and get your work permit.
All right, we have a question from Jamaica. In 2014, I was married to a female. I'm a male. Things didn't work out, so I filed an abuse case. I got denied in 2018. I don't know if this is the same one. Let's see. But I'm married to a male. I did my fingerprints. This is the same one, right?
Same person.
Okay.
Except now it's the same, different person. Now it's female. The last one was a female.
Right.
All right, continue.
Oh, okay. No, I think it's the same one because it says I'm a male. Okay. I'm getting this from like all over. This question, I guess, was very important. Okay, Fadi says, hey, Brad, and all of you on the panel. It's just me right now.
Yes.
So,
right.
I've been away since I submitted my I-765 for work authorization and advanced parole. This takes almost 7 months. Did an online case inquiry and was told they'd get back to me by the 23rd of April. Haven't had any requests for more information. Is this normal?
No, 7 months is way too long. You're doing something wrong. You should call us. Or they're doing something wrong.
Okay, because it's been 197 days.
Yes.
All right, call.
Yes.
Sexy teddy bear.
Ooh.
How long after you entered the United States do you get your green card after paying for it?
About 8 weeks.
All right, Diana says, hey, Brad, how long after they schedule your interview will they send you a notice letter for your adjustment of status? They scheduled it for March 26, 2019.
And what does she want to know?
How long after they schedule the interview will you get the notice letter?
That you got approved?
For your...
The notice for approval, it could come anywhere from 3 weeks to 120 days.
Okay. So if it was March 26, 2019,
so wait 120 days, which is 4 months, and if you don't hear anything, call me.
Mohammed Ramzan says, will my F1 visa status be valid after my AOS based on marriage got denied?
No.
Esmeen says, I have a friend who overstayed 2 years, but his son, who is a U.S. citizen, is filing for him. Can he go back to Jamaica and wait until the filing comes through?
Yes, but he may have a 10-year bar. I don't know how old. How old is the kid?
It does not say.
Right.
Okay, Sunita says, I have my green card for 6 years and want to file for my citizenship, but I stayed a few months each year out of the country. How long do I have to be present in the U.S. to be eligible for citizenship? I read somewhere that it needs to be about 30 months.
Correct. You have to be, these are the rules. 30 out of the last 60 months, which is 2.5 out of the last 5 years, you have to be 2 feet in America. No trip outside of America more than 6 months at a time. And you have to be living in the state where you file for 90 days. Follow those 3 rules.
Okay, so is it calculated from the time she got her green card or the last 5 years?
Calculated 5 years going backwards.
Okay, Del Rito says, I have my citizenship interview next month. My spouse is coming to the U.S. next month, also on a J1 visa. How soon can I start filing the process? I'm trying to have her stay with me.
90 days after she comes.
Okay. Baliab says, good evening. It seems like it has been a year since the last show.
Oh my God, only 5 days. Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, listen, 5 days is a long time for them, all right?
Yeah.
1 day is a month.
That's right.
Okay. Brad, can
Years.
you... Yeah,
Years.
right. Years.
Wow.
Brad, can you live in Delaware and file adjustment of status in New York? What's the benefit of and the downside of it?
The benefit of filing in New York is 0. The downside is you're lying to the government by saying you live in New York when you live in Delaware. You got to file in the state where you live.
Okay, Rococo Chocolat is very nervous. She wants to know what happens at the citizenship interview.
They go through your entire application and ask you all those questions all over again that you filled out 12 months ago. They ask to see your tax returns for the last 5 years. They give you your citizenship test. They go through good moral character. Are you willing to bear arms for America? Willing to take an oath of allegiance? And then they say, congratulations, you're a citizen. And if you're so scared, then hire us. We'll go with you.
I know, Rococo Chocolat. Come on. Cell Georgia houses cash. Has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they say, what's up, Yo-Yo? What's up, Brad?
What's up? He's trying to sell us a house?
In Georgia.
In Georgia.
Apparently.
Yes.
My wife, Wu, is a nurse in Paris. 2 weeks ago, Honda 1-year visa. I'm
a 1-year visa.
Oh, okay. I'm a permanent resident and have to apply for naturalization. The expected date to complete. So the application is June 2020. My question is, what are our options for her to stay?
She's here now or she's in Paris?
My wife is a nurse 2 weeks ago, Paris. Maybe just came 2 weeks ago from Paris?
Okay, well, there is no option to stay if you're going to file for her. You got to become a citizen as quickly as possible.
Okay. Ashley Swami says, I was the main applicant and my green card got rejected since I had a conviction. Can we appeal for it? I'm out of the U.S. I'm in Fiji. Got suspended sentence for obtaining financial advantage.
I would have to see the disposition.
Okay.
He needs a consultation.
All right. First Lady Hewitt says, how long does a 245I application take before you get an interview?
12 to 30 months.
Okay, Olo Sesson says, hey Brad, can a child of a green card holder benefit from CSPA and under what circumstances?
Yes, but there's a lot of different circumstances. So generally, if you're asking as a derivative beneficiary on the approved I-130, you have to see how long the I-130 took to get approved, add that to the child's birthday, and then if the child applied for a visa within 1 year of visa availability of his 21st birthday plus the time period it took the I-130 to get approved, he would be under the Child Status Protection Act. Now, I know that's very hard to understand, and I just said that in one big breath, but it's a kind of complicated calculation. You need me to do it for you.
Hit up Brad. Hit him up. All right, Marva says, I've sent in my paperwork for my green card from January 2019. Should I get back my receipt by now? So they sent in the paperwork for the green card back in January, and should she already have her receipt by now?
Yes.
So if she doesn't, then you need to call.
Correct.
Misha Douglas says, how long does it take for an I-601A waiver to get approved? I filed March 21st of this year.
12 months.
Gautam Thomas says, on an H-1B FTE with employer but project ended with client, filed an AOS in December last year, 2018. Now, one, should I look for a project under H-1B or wait it out for my EAD card? H-1B ends 7/31/19 of this year.
If you have an adjustment pending, I mean, you can renew your H-1B and look for a new project, but you're going to get a work permit in a few months.
Second question, when do I get my EAD card?
It's about 5 months after you file.
Okay. Now, this is another thing he says. H-1B ends July 2019, filed an AOS in December of last year. What if I get my EAD card after July 2019?
You're still in legal status.
Okay, so I'm not violating my status since AOS is pending,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay, and what does he need to do in this situation? Just
He has his choice. Get a new H-1B or wait for the work permit.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I would just wait for the work permit because you're legal.
Okay. 1428 says, hello, Brad. My question is about out of status time. I'm out of status while my case is still pending and waiting for a response from USCIS. How does that affect me to travel on advanced parole with USCIS wait time?
As long as you have advanced parole and you have a pending adjustment, you're okay to travel. Don't stay out for more than 2 or 3 weeks.
Garnett says, can an extension of an order of protection affect applying for citizenship? I get my green card in November, or got my green card in November 2017.
Order of protection, you cannot show good moral character. You're going to have a problem becoming a citizen.
Okay. Aicha says, I'm awaiting approval on an I-751 since 1 year. Unfortunately, last month I got convicted with 2 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. Will that affect my status? And I'm still married and will I be placed on deportation?
It sounds like 2 felonies and a misdemeanor is going to get you put in deportation. You're going to need a good lawyer pretty fast. We're going to come back and do a little more social media. We're going to do round 2 of social media in a few minutes.
Okay.
But right now, I do want to talk about the mandamus and the APA claim, especially since we had that question early in our social media round. Spar and Bernstein, the attorney, Abadir Barr, and Barry actually. I keep calling him Barr, but it's Barry.
Okay.
He's French. I've learned that now that I've gone to Paris. Spar and Bernstein attorney, Abadir Barry, and I have been discussing the mandamus APA cases we are putting together for people who have been waiting for their asylum cases to be processed for more than 3 years. It's so important. I want to continue to remind people with another snippet from our segment, Abadir Sues the Government. On a regular basis, almost daily, we will get a call or a social media question.
Yes.
I filed for asylum 3 years ago. When will I get my interview? I filed for asylum 5 years ago. I still haven't got an interview. 7 years ago. And the only thing I can do is look into my magic 8 ball because I have no idea when you're going to get it.
Yeah.
I know one guy who's waiting 10 years.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Your life's in limbo, Abadir. Tell me what you do.
You have to file a lawsuit. As Brad said before, there was processing times. There was an order to things with the Obama administration, the Bush administration. People would file for their asylums, and you could check and say, okay, the wait time for interviews is 1.5 years or 2 years. But now somebody will call, and you can't even tell him anything because he's turned the process on its head. So the only thing you could do is file a lawsuit and challenge the regulation.
Now, in our last episode of Abadir Sues the Government, we talked about pending I-130 visa petitions, people who have had visa petitions pending for a long time.
Right.
And you said file a mandamus, which is force the government to make a decision.
Yes.
In this particular case, are you also filing a mandamus?
Correct. Yes.
It is the same exact thing.
Same suit. It's the same suit, but has an additional claim to it, which is an APA claim, which is Administrative Procedures Act. So that Administrative Procedures Act is a federal statute that mandates all agencies, not just USCIS, but all agencies to follow the regulations and procedures.
So let's start with mandamus, because when you file a lawsuit against the government, a mandamus says it's a federal judge saying to the Immigration Service, make a decision, thumbs up, thumbs down on this case.
Correct.
Okay.
Specifically, it's exactly that, but specifically, a mandamus is an act, and the act is an order from a superior court to an inferior court or agency here, mandating them to fulfill their legal
obligations.
duty specifically.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Now the APA claim. So you're saying in a mandamus, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yes.
Okay. That's layman's terms.
Yes, right.
Okay. And in the APA claim, which is the Administrative Procedures Act, you say you got to follow your own rules. You can't.
Yes.
You can't make up rules.
Right.
And then not follow them.
Yes.
Okay. What do you say to somebody? Because this is what's on everybody's minds. It's great.
Yes.
My case is pending a long time. Let's go sue the government. And I say, what are you, out of your mind? I'm not going to go sue the government. They're going to come and deport me. They're going to come and arrest me. Or they're going to screw my case over. What do you say about that?
Actually, what happens more is instead of them being mad at you, it's them putting them on the hot seat and forcing them to properly adjudicate your
Right, because in essence, they now know that you have an attorney that will have a federal judge review everything they do.
Yes.
Including delaying your case.
Yes.
And if they screw with you again, they know they're going back into federal court again.
Correct.
Because they've screwed your case a second time.
Yes.
And a third time.
Right.
So as a matter of fact, my answer to most people is it's the opposite.
Right.
Okay? If you go sue the government, they're not going to screw you over.
Yes.
They're going to do everything by the book.
Yes.
They're not going to make one mistake because they know they're going to get their asses dragged right back into court again.
Yep.
And they don't want that.
No.
So what Donald Trump is doing is he's trying, as a policy, to prevent people from filing asylum cases for two reasons. One, he doesn't want to give people work authorization that otherwise wouldn't be eligible. But also he's trying to make it very difficult for people to be granted asylum. How did you make it difficult for people to be granted asylum? From the moment you file the asylum, you grant them a very fast hearing. So why does that make it difficult? Because it takes time to put together a case. It takes time to develop your evidence. It takes time to send back home to get things. It takes time to get your story down in a credible, thematic, and chronological order. You can't file for asylum and get a hearing in 90 days and think you're going to be ready for it. Or ready with evidence, ready with your story, ready with everything that you need to prove your asylum claim. These are serious things.
Yeah.
So Trump's doing two things. One is he's trying to prevent people from applying, frivolous cases, but also on the real cases, he's trying to make it as hard as possible for anybody to get a case approved.
Yes.
It's like going to trial. Say, Abadir, you know what? We're going to go to trial on this huge, huge case. If it's very, very complicated, you got 60 days to do it.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
And my documents, my vital biographical documents, sometimes my passport,
Right.
my birth certificate, and everything else is back home. My evidence is back home. My witnesses are not around yet.
Right.
And so it's not just to go to trial in 60 days, but everything I need, all the ammunition to go to trial is not with me.
Exactly. A lot of people who would otherwise be eligible for asylum are getting denied.
Right.
Now, what does that do for the people who filed last year or the year before or 3 years before or 5 years before? They wait. They wait longer and longer and longer. What should somebody do if they have an asylum case that's been pending for a while, or they have a loved one or a friend who has an asylum case pending for a while? What do you think they should do?
Call us.
Call us.
And we'll put together a lawsuit, and we'll get you your interview as soon as possible.
All right. So the telephone number for Abadir at Spar Bernstein is the same telephone number to call us on our Bradshaw Live show. 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. It's a number for law offices at Spar Bernstein. It's also the number to call to get your questions answered for free right here on our show. Abadir, wonderful job as always.
Thank you.
As again, prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. But right now, in the time of Donald Trump, especially now that there's no collusion, okay, you better have good lawyers on your side who are ready to go to bat for you.
Right.
And I'm sitting next to one right now. Abadir, great job. Thank you
so much. Yes.
All right. All right, another round of social media check.
All right, Nico Brown has a question. My wife submitted all documents to NVC in December, which were accepted, but they had asked for 2017 tax documents. She uploaded them, but didn't realize they were not submitted. We realized this just last week on Monday and immediately submitted them. Now, she called them Tuesday of this week. The customer service person apologized for having us wait so long due to the fact that everything on the CEAC site stated accepted. So now what are your thoughts?
Hopefully they accept it. I don't know. I'm not a computer genius. I always like to hand deliver things and send it through, certified mail or overnight. But hopefully they accept it, and it was done within a timely manner.
Okay. Nella says, I have a question, Uncle Brad.
Yes.
I have gotten my green card, but the year on my green card was wrong. My lawyer sent a copy of the card and the form that had to be filled out. Now, how long will it take for them to do the change? And or did she have to send the original card?
What was wrong with the card?
The date on the green card was wrong.
You have to send the original card back.
Oh, so not a copy?
No.
Okay.
Send the copy, you're not getting anything back.
Oof. And the lawyer is the one who sent it.
The lawyer doesn't know what he's doing.
Sheesh. Anderson Smith says,
because other than that, government's going to say you're walking around with 2 cards. They're not going to allow that.
Oh, true that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad, someone who is LPR gets their first speeding citation. Would this affect the application for or citizen or re-entering the country when temporary leave for vacation, etc.?
No, there's no deportation for bad drivers.
Okay, Laddie says, I got an interview before I got my work permit. Should I be worried?
No.
Okay, iTubeDV says, asking for a friend, which I hope your friend is also watching. Okay. Came on a B1, B2 visa a year ago and married my LPR fiance. Left to study in Canada, and now my LPR husband is in line for citizenship. How do we adjust status once he's a citizen?
You file an I-45.
Okay, follow up. The friend is in U.S. on a valid B1, B2.
Even if he overstays, if your husband's a U.S. citizen, you file an adjustment on I-45. Come see me if you have a problem.
Okay. Pap Warfall says, filed on January 8th my I-130, I-765, and I-485. But my online status is stuck on fingerprint fee was received, even though I did my biometric 3 months ago. Is there any issue?
No, just they didn't update it. Don't worry about it.
Richard Jason Stewart says, I'm a green card holder who recently filed an I-130 for my wife in Jamaica. How long will it take to get the approval?
About 2 years.
Shakira says...
Shakira! We always get
it's a different spelling. Yeah. Me and my daughter went on our interview. I got approved, but my daughter is still pending because of late medical. How long before I get back my passport and hear about my daughter's status?
Where is this interview?
Does not say.
Not knowing where an interview is,
or
who has your passport, or what happened at the interview. When would she get her passport back and the daughter get through? Magic 8 Ball says ask again later. How would I know when? Yeah, gotta give me more information.
More information, guys. All right, Liu says, hey, just want to get an answer. I came out here 2015, overstayed my visa, got married, have kids, but I'm trying to bring my mom. Is there any way she can come out here or no?
If you overstayed your visa, mom's not coming.
Sam S. Harry says, it's been over 2 months for my wife's immigrant visa. We didn't hear anything yet.
What does that even mean? It's a statement.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you haven't heard anything yet.
It's 2 months too long to hear anything from the to get a visa.
Is this Sam?
This is Sam.
Sam, if you ever watch this show, you realize Trump is slowing everything down. Nothing in immigration happens in 2 months. Nothing. You're lucky that in 2 months you get a letter back that your application was received.
So hold on a bit.
Yeah.
Jagar Ban says, hey Brad, after getting married to a U.S. citizen, how many days can I wait to file?
The next day.
Ma Bat says, 1 year ago, neighbor called the police on me. Police took my name and filed a report and said nothing will happen. Never arrested or anything. Will that come up for the N400?
If you were not arrested, it won't come up.
Jamaica says, Brad, my daughter went to Jamaica and when she came back to the United States, the immigration took her green card away. Why?
She's asking why?
She just said they took it away. So I'm asking, like, why? What do they do if they take it away?
Why did immigration take her?
Well, what do they do if they take it away?
Oh, is that the question?
It was a statement. So I'm asking, what do they do?
You're in deportation. I don't know why, though. How would I know? What does the Magic 8 Ball have to say? Said concentrate and ask again.
Yeah, okay. Tanya, excuse me. Tanya says, I submit my children, my children's I-130, who's not here in the U.S. and they rejected it, saying we should send it in with the I-485. Why is this?
Because you did it wrong. It gets rejected when you do things wrong.
And sending it in with the I-485.
That means do you want to adjust their status and get them their green card here?
All right. Sam says, hey, my wife interviewed on January 17th of this year, and 2 weeks later, they asked her to submit the 5535. We after from...
5535?
Yeah.
There's no 5535. These questions are getting crazier as the evening's going on.
And crazier.
What's the next question?
Let's say Faye. Hey, Brad, I filed for my 3 children in 2014. How long is the wait? They live in Jamaica and are unmarried.
Over 21, you have about another year and a half.
They are old, over 21.
About a year and a half.
Okay, Fox Racing says, Brad, I heard that if you decide to travel on an F1 visa, then you must request some sort of authorization from USCIS to travel to your country or origin. Am I correct?
I never heard that.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. It doesn't mean I heard everything in the world.
Right.
I never heard that.
So they should probably just research
You have a
more.
visa, you go.
Okay.
Maybe what you're thinking is that you're going to need proof from the school that you're enrolled. Something from the officer of the school that you are fully matriculated and enrolled in the school. That could be it.
All right. Zone Powell says, hey, Brad, my medical did not submit with my papers. Do I have to wait for USCIS to ask for it, or should I just go ahead and submit it?
Do not submit it. Wait for them to ask or bring it on the interview.
Jennifer Wallace says, hey, Brad, can a permanent resident file for his wife?
Yes.
Kazukui says, Brad, how long does the USCIS take to respond to RFE? It was sent on the 3rd, and my lawyer responded 3 days ago.
It's going to take more than 3 days, I can tell you that. Think like 90 to 120 days.
Saja, for our last comment, or last
yes.
question. Naturalized citizen, but my fiance and daughter are in West Africa. Did my daughter qualify as a U.S. citizen?
Oh. I guess that's a good question to end on. All right, first of all, your daughter doesn't become a citizen if you become a citizen after she's born. She would only become a citizen if you were a citizen before she was born, unless she's living with you in your physical and legal custody with a green card. So I guess since she's in Africa and was born before he was a citizen, and I'm taking guesses on all of this, she is not a U.S. citizen.
All right.
Now, I had the chance to speak with Mohammed Malim. Now, Mohammed Malim is the epitome of the American dream success story. He was born in a refugee camp in Kenya after his parents fled civil war in Somalia. His family eventually resettled in the United States, and he is the first person in his family to actually graduate high school and college. Now, to give back and commemorate with what his parents went through to escape war and poverty and create a better life for their children, who was Muhammad, of one of the children, he founded an online site called Dream Refugee and a startup company called Epitomia, which recycles refugee life jackets into bracelets. Let's check it out. Mohammed Malim is an innovator, social entrepreneur, humanitarian, and visionary. Above all else, he is a proud refugee working to bring change to the world. Mohammed is the founder of the online site Dream Refugee and a startup company called Epitomia, which recycles refugee life jackets into bracelets, mixing fashion and philanthropy to shine a spotlight on the global refugee crisis. Here to tell us about his own family's refugee story and about Dream Refugee and Epitomia is Mohammed Malim. Thanks for joining me today, Mohammed. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brad, for having me.
So where are you right now?
Minnesota. Up north.
You were not born in the United States. Tell me where you were born.
I was born in Kenya. We fled from the civil war in Somalia during the 1990s, and on the way I was born in Kenya in a refugee camp called Dadaab, as known one of the biggest refugee complexes in the world right now.
How long were you in Dadaab refugee complex?
I was there roughly 3 years. It was me and my younger brother, Mustafa, who was a year younger than me. And there were stories that my mom told me that it was scary, you know. She had to sacrifice men of the night for us just to seek food and shelter. So it was one of those memories that we don't usually talk about.
How long were they in that refugee camp?
For 3 years.
Who runs that refugee camp? Do you know? Is that
UN,
the United Nations?
UNCHR.
How did your family end up in the United States and you up?
So we first landed in Texas. That was our first destination. That's when UNCHR provided a lottery for us to come to Texas. We lived there for a year. It was literally you were getting dropped in the middle of nowhere. My dad was a janitor at a local hotel. My mom took care of me and my younger brother at that time. And then how we ended up in Minnesota was there were Lutheran churches that sponsored us who were active in the refugee crisis. And that's how we ended up in Minnesota.
So how old were you when you made it to Minnesota?
I was 4 years old.
And did your parents speak any English when they got here?
Zero. So my mom went to several after-school programs while my dad was working. It was just tough on her because not knowing that language was a barrier, and for that there were times that when we had to translate, just to let her know like this is the process of knowing that was kind of difficult. So
you basically spoke Somali when you got here. You were speaking Somali at home. Do you remember as a child that it was very difficult for you to learn English?
Not really. I went to all Somali charter school. Some of my peers were speaking in English, not in Somali, but it was just like a mix of culture, where sometimes we infused the Somali language into the English language. The language barrier was not that difficult for me.
What was it like being exposed to the American culture when you went to school growing up, and then coming back? I assume you still had that Somali culture. And were you in a neighborhood with other Somalis, or were you the only Somali family there?
I was in the neighborhood with other Somali. It was quite a balance for me going to a suburban high school, learning the language, learning the culture, and how the whole thing operates. Where coming back in the inner city, that's where I grew up, going back to the house and just, fitting and just learning the language itself as Somali and just fitting in it was a balance. But I've managed to balance those two cultures.
Your formative years of everything you remember is American and nothing else. Even though you don't have a birth certificate that says you were here, to me, you're American just as much as me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel American? Do you feel like you're still a refugee? And tell me, what does this website do and what inspired you to do it?
Yes, I feel reconnected to the refugee experience in a way. I was born in a refugee camp, but it brought me experiences that my mom told me when she was in a refugee camp. Those experiences, having that connection was huge. The reason why I started Dream Refugee was basically during my junior year in college when our current president came to St. Cloud during his presidential campaign. He literally backlashed the whole Somali community with the negative rhetoric, calling them ISIS, calling them these people are coming here to take over the country, which was false, and for that's what inspired me. And the fact that my parents worked extremely hard to provide us, that's how I was inspired to start this project. I literally interviewed local successful refugees. We wanted to change the narrative of refugees because we don't hear those success stories in the media, and that's the angle I took.
If you go on this website, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see stories, inspiring stories of refugees who are successful, who are good people, to counter this Trump narrative. So I wonder, you think if Hillary Clinton won, you would have done this?
To be honest, absolutely not. It was just a moment in the presence, like I had to do something about this. For me, I wanted to play my role in humanity, and that was another way that I wanted to start this project. If Hillary won this, it will be another day, in Minnesota. So,
how many people do you feature on this website?
We have 20.
20 so far. You also started a company called Epimonia. What does Epimonia mean?
It means perseverance in Greek. When a refugee flees from their country, they persevere so much pain, so much obstacles throughout the journey, and at the end of the journey finally made it. And all those challenges at first was difficult, they made it to their second country.
What does Epimonia do?
We take these recycled life jackets and turn into bracelets. One of the products is the bracelet, as you can see. Really cool bracelet, literally you standing up for humanity. When you wear this bracelet, it's a symbol of hope, love, towards refugees, and just creating awareness of the refugee crisis around the world, especially in the U.S. We don't hear those refugee stories and the negative that's going on in the U.S.
How do you find these life jackets?
We partnered up with a nonprofit called Movement on the Ground. They collect the life jacket and they ship it to our manufacturer called Dream Factory. And I partnered up with my uncle on that particular part. And that's how he helped me start this company.
What was the idea? You want to make something from a life jacket and you were trying to figure out what to make? Or did you say, I want to make a bracelet, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, what about these life jackets?
The initial goal was to create awareness of the refugee crisis, and I've used that life jacket because it connected to the stories of these refugees fleeing. That life jacket had a symbol of connection of the refugee crisis, and that's why I've chosen this material.
Is it just one bracelet, or are there different styles?
So we have different stuff. We have hats, we have beanies, and we have apparel coming along the way as well. So the initial product is the bracelet so far.
Is it red or orange?
It's orange.
It's orange.
Yeah. Yeah, so the inside is leather, embroidered our slogan, Building Humanity by Epimonia. and the outside is the recycled life jacket material, and we have the clasp is magnetic as well, which is the cool feature about this bracelet.
How much are these bracelets?
It's $40.
And how much money goes to actually helping refugees out of that $40?
50% of the profits will support refugees communities in the U.S. So,
And you hire people who are refugees in the factory that make it?
yes, that's right, in the Netherlands, in Hague.
In The Hague. Oh, so these are made in the Netherlands.
That's right.
And then they're shipped here to the United States of America.
Yeah.
You contribute to non-government organizations.
So one of them is the Movement on the Ground. They're an NGO, individual entity that don't have any correlation with the government. They are strictly funded from the people and by the people. But here in America, we support nonprofit organization that supports refugees.
And how long have you had this company?
For a year now.
For a year now. And is business growing?
Yes, growing a lot. We've been featured in more than 20 news media outlets. Our exposure branding is incredible. We are releasing more products, beanies with hats and whatnot. And we are hopefully to, grow this company, more products, and hopefully make an impact in the refugee community in the U.S. So that's my goal.
Your family obviously went through a lot of hardship to get here and give you the opportunity to have this wonderful, successful life that so far you're living. And you're certainly giving back to your community, back to people, back to humanity. What about the hardships that your parents went through? What did that teach you about where you are today?
To always keep going, never give up on their journey. When my parents came to the U.S., they literally had nothing. And now they provided a lot for their children, to see them succeed. One of my dreams was to graduate from college, and that was to fulfill my mother's dream. To see her son walk on that stage, get that diploma, was her dream, and all the sacrifice has paid off for her.
Where can people find out more about Epimonea, your bracelets?
Yeah, dreamrefugees.org. And that's right, and epimonea.com.
If somebody wants to buy the bracelet, they can buy it online. They call. What do they do?
They, order online. By wearing the bracelet, they are making an impact, and they're standing up for refugees.
Before we let you go, Mohammed, tell me what your American dreams are for your future, for the future of America.
Make an impact in the community. That's my dream, to see these refugees, to see these newcomers able to succeed their American dream. No matter what obstacle they face in the future, keep going, because you'll get there,
Mohammed Malim, appreciate it. Thank you, founder of Epimonea bracelets, using refabricated life jackets and giving 50% of the profits back to refugee organizations, and also Dream Refugee, telling inspiring stories about refugees here in America. I appreciate your time. It's wonderful speaking with you. Thank you. All right, Yo-Yo, comments of the day.
All right, our first comment of the day comes on YouTube from Muhammad Razman saying, Brad, I missed your show a lot.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. I missed
People
him too.
missed you.
Okay.
All right.
That was a very short comment of the day.
It was, but it was very impacting
Okay,
and powerful.
very impacted somebody, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Our second one comes from Demba Sal saying, Brad, we will always be on your side because how nice you are, and you will achieve your goal no matter what.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Nice.
Right.
Our third one comes from Carol Anderson, the Tiger, on Facebook saying, Brad and Kim and Jonathan, Sam, Jill behind the scene, they made this show possible for us, the squad, and everyone else can hear. News and immigration. I love you all. You are really our family.
All right, Carol. Thank you. I like that.
Thank you. We are your family.
Yes.
Now, this next one comes about the name of Uncle Brad from Levon D. Tucker, straight off of the Broadway. When you lead the people, you need a name, Uncle Brad.
I guess.
This is
I
true.
guess. I'm Uncle Brad. I guess. All right.
This next one is a follow-up on Facebook. David Gabriel says, it's lots of respect to the person, and the word uncle is the handle to the name.
All right. I like it. I like it.
Okay, and our last one for today comes from Lisa Blingrose.
Lisa Blingrose.
Saying, I guess somebody said they came in and they said they missed the show. So
Right.
she said, let me update you. Uncle Brad running in the airport and fell. I guess that was the most important part of the show.
That's right. That's basically it. Forget that I answered any immigration questions,
doesn't
right?
matter.
Doesn't matter. All right, everybody. Have a great night. I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad we got to see you guys. I'm glad we got to interact with you. Love you all. See you tomorrow, 5:30, but probably 5:45. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it, I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?